Hello to everybody old and new. My name is As90 or Dr. Dile, whatever you want to call me. And today, it's I think Christmas Eve, Merry Christmas Eve, or I guess Merry Christmas by the time this comes out, or whatever. But yeah, today we're doing a little bit of a different video. We're gonna be doing a tier list, cause tier lists are fun, yay! I'm gonna be ranking all 29 Minecraft series that I watched by SSundee. Over the past year, I've been devoting my time to watch SSundee Modpacks and all this other stuff. And yeah, there's a bunch of highlights, a bunch of all rights, and a bunch of other stuff. So be sure to stick around. And if you're also a SSundee fan and have been watching SSundee for a while, let me know down in the comments. I'll have this tier list linked in the description and in the comments and the pinned comments, so you guys can try it out for yourself. So yeah, let's get to it. Starting with your boy, the original 2013 Pixelmon. Now the thing with this one was that it started off fairly good. The first few episodes were not bad. They did feel a little slow. I think it was a nice combination of, Beijing, Jerome, Husky, and SSundee, all playing Pixelmon. Episode 10 was a banger, but after episode 10, there was not much else to like really do in the series. It was like there wasn't much left in the series to do. So and it was just like it dragged on for way too long. It was just a bunch of him chucking balls at Metangs and Beldums or whatnot. I have no idea. And the final episode was just fine. Got all the evolutions, which was pretty cool. But yeah, nothing much worthy of a high rank. So I'll put it at D tier. It's not bad. I'm not gonna be too harsh on it. It was not bad, but it was not great. So yeah, that's where Pixelmon goes. Next up is his debut main mod pack series, Feed the Beast. And I'm gonna give Feed the Beast a firm B tier. Reason being is that I've recently watched Feed the Beast actually. It's actually the last mod pack series that I watched that was SSundee's. But yeah, B tier because thing is, this series is really good. I really like the TNT Purple Wiener War, all that war arcs. That was really good. But yeah, the first like 15 episodes were pretty strong, pretty nice like pacing, and I think the last few episodes kind of died down the ideas that was representing. The final episode didn't even mention the Blair Witch, which was like a very huge part of the series. So I don't know. I give it a B tier because it's pretty good. So like yeah, there you go. Next up, we gotta cover the original Crazycraft. Now, I'm gonna give the original Crazycraft a B tier too. This is very good. It had a very good first episode, a very incredible, mesmerizing last episode, and then everything in between was just fine. I feel indifferent about it. A lot of things felt good. It took him half the series to get Big Bertha, and then he got another Big Bertha in one episode. So I mean, I don't know what to say. And then a lot of like just like blood magic stuff. It was fine. It was cool. It dove straight into the blood magic stuff, and it was pretty interesting. But I'll put it at B tier. Next up, we're gonna get Blood and Bones. Yeah, Blood and Bones is his first major, incredible debut, 38 episode banger, Blood and Bones. This had some of the most depressing stuff in it. It was very dark, very gloomy, and I loved that atmosphere that it had. It's just a gloomy, dark atmosphere and like an intense thriller type feeling at times. The last few episodes were pretty good. The ending was so depressing. Oh man, it was just like so sad. Like usually SSundee will have like things where it's like, you know what, let's do this. I can't wait to be able to do this. But in Crazycraft, he was so close to not winning. And then Blood and Bones, he was in hardcore. So when he died, it was just so depressing. So hard to watch, but yeah, really good series. Put at A tier. So next up would usually be Crazycraft 2, but I didn't actually realize that SSundee had 3 series in between Crazycraft 2 and Blood and Bones. So yeah, let's get to it. MadPack 1. This was a very interesting series because it did definitely feel like more of a segue series rather than a full body of its own. But that doesn't mean that it was a bad series either. Like it had its own like unique concepts, unique atmosphere. Like the first few episodes were banger. The last episode was fine. It was just fine overall. I didn't mind it or anything like that. I think it just like it did what it needed to, and actually helped SSundee develop as a mod pack player. So yeah, MadPack is a very important place in the entire discography. Next up, we're gonna cover a very unknown series. It is called Crash Landing. The thing is, Crash Landing was a very interesting series. It was a C tier series, but it was very underrated in a way that it makes sense why it was underrated. The first 4 episodes of the series were so good. Like, think of Sky Factory, but you actually land on another planet and you're deserted and all you have is dust and your like broken ship and whatnot. It's very cool. It's a very interesting concept. And then when he moved to the city in episode 5, that was pretty sick too. And the rest of the series just ended up being a little boring. This has some of SSundee's most unknown and interesting concepts and mods that were covered, and yet nobody knows about it. So I think this might be like a grower for me. This may grow on me very much so. Like it might have a huge growth on me. So yeah, Crash Landing is C tier, but who knows, maybe it becomes an A tier in the future. The ending wasn't all that great, but it's cool. It's cool. Next up, we're gonna cover the banger Moon Treasure. Now, Moon Treasure was freaking amazing. Oh my god. Moon Treasure is SSundee's first S tier series, in my opinion. And this was like the start of his incredible era. Him and Parker had a really good chemistry, and it was only a 9 episode series, right? But it was just like 9 episodes of banger after banger after banger. It's just so good. Every episode had something to provide. Every episode had something new to do. It had some thrill. It had some chill. It had some interesting plot storyline. I really wanted to see Jonathan though. That's the only complaint I might have. And the treasure was pretty sick because this is actually the best segue into what we know as Crazycraft 2, which I'll put at A tier. I think it's better than Crazycraft 1. Mainly because, there was more stuff going on. It was more compact to the point. Yeah, this is the era where SSundee became more compact with his series, making his episodes shorter but more meaningful at the same time. So yeah, that's Crazycraft 2. And Moon Treasure again. Banger, one of SSundee's best series by far. But maybe I should cover the Sky Factory series as well. All right, Sky Factory 1, I think is an A tier. This is a really good way to start off Sky Factory as a whole. Krainer's introduction to everything, the jokes, the classic feeling to it. Every episode was good. It was just a little longer than average. Then Sky Factory 2 happened, and this is the best season of Sky Factory by far. Sky Factory 2 provided all this stuff. It had bacon, it had war, it had like, trolling, it had a bunch of other stuff going on with it that just made it more meaningful. So yeah, Sky Factory 2 is probably the best season of Sky Factory by far. Definitely. This is like a classic. This is probably like, other than maybe Haunted Orphanage, this is the first SSundee series that I ever watched. So yeah, very good stuff. Next up, Sky Factory 3, which I think is the weakest out of the first 4. I don't think it's bad or anything. It had some classic jokes like the yes. But even so, it just like didn't hit the same. Mainly because it was more like a Sky Factory 2.5, more like a segue into Sky Factory 4, which is actually Sky Factory 3, which I think is A tier. It had some very unique concepts like world building, literally world building, and draconian stuff and boss battles. It was really fun. The only complaint I have is maybe the draconian stuff went for far too long, but other than that, pretty good series. After Crazycraft 2, we had MadPack 3, which to be honest, I don't think is as good as the original MadPack. Sure, the first like 4 or 5 episodes were really good, but after that, it just like left on a cliffhanger, never finished anything, and just left us there. It never went anywhere, but yeah, the episodes that it did provide were pretty good. The biggest complaint I have is that it didn't actually tie in with the original MadPack. Like, you can tell, like, the thumbnails look very similar in, like, aesthetic. And yet, it's just like, he doesn't have any mention of the original MadPack at all. So yeah, that's the biggest complaint I have about that series. But yeah, alright, segue into what I think is SSundee's best series to date. Crazycraft. Crazycraft is a 52 episode banger, with each and every episode getting better and better. Each episode just like evolved. It like became more atmospheric. It became better. The trolls in this series were absolutely fantastic, especially after the halfway point, like the saw troll in episode 26. It was just incredible. It was just incredible. And then of course it has the greatest episode in any Minecraft series of all time. Episode 47 of Crazycraft, the Fear Troll, which I've never seen a Minecraft series been able to invoke fear and anguish and disgust within oneself. I've never seen a Minecraft series to be able to explore such crazy concepts like that, like jump scares and horrendousness, atmosphericness, loneliness, liminal spaces. It just had everything you need to know about darkness. And it was dark, it was gloomy, it was incredible, and the ending was so good. The ending was absolutely gorgeous. The ending was a two-part ending, so it was like kind of like an epilogue kind of series, and it was just so good. It was, oh my god, it's just like gets your heart beating, man. And yeah, it's just an incredible series. Definitely worth watching. Like if there's any Minecraft series that's worth watching, Crazycraft it is. Next up we have Golden Cobblestone. Golden Cobblestone I think is definitely S tier. Um, it's like it's good. Okay, Golden Cobblestone is just universally loved. I think everyone can agree on that. Golden Cobblestone is just a classic. Everyone who's watched it knows it. And each and every episode is meaningful, has some good boss battles, has some good exploration to other places, has some very nice achievement systems, and yeah, just a good series overall. Next up, we got Headhunters. Heck yes, Headhunters. Headhunters is a fantastic, one-of-a-kind series. I'm still working on watching The Crafting Dead right now, like Popular Mimosas Crafting Dead, but Headhunters is able to capture that essence with a more atmospheric feeling in 8 episodes. It has every episode, like in Moon Treasure, it was meaningful, had something to do, and like each episode had some very unique stuff going on with it. It was just a very sick series, and I think it was just like perfectly wrapped up. SSundee, if you're watching this, which I doubt you are, please reshare episode 8. It's been unshared, or if you're not, hit me up with that unlisted link. You gotta give it to me. Alright, next up is Trollcraft. I think a lot of people are gonna disagree with me with this, but A tier. Trollcraft is the banger, fully fledged project that him, Craner, and Sparkles, along with Kian and Zine and whatnot, worked together on and created an incredible series with, oh my god, some of the best building. The entire map was built by them, which is crazy because that map was absolutely incredible. It was beautiful, and the achievement way was great. The trolls were banger, not as good as maybe Crazycraft were, less gloomy and more heated trolls that weren't as atmospheric or dark or stuff like that. But yeah, it had its own charm to it. The problem I have with it is the last like 8 or so episodes, or like everything after the server was down. You know what I mean? After the server like was down, like they got trolled that the server was out, and then goodness, like after that there was like some streams or whatnot. The last like 8 or 10 episodes were like probably some of the best episodes at the same time. I have no idea what happened in those episodes. They were so good or so bad that they felt out of place. So I don't know what to say. And then the last episode didn't even have much of a meaningful ending to it. It was just them crying to death. Literally Craner saying Pokemon Go like a child, and then like it cuts off there. What was that ending? So yeah, I just think Trollcraft is very good for sure. I have a lot of praise for it as a series, but it's not like the best of the best in my opinion. Alright, next up we got the 2016 Pixelmon, which I think is C tier. It's fine. It's basically just an upgraded version of the original one because it's shorter episodes, but a lot more episodes as well. It's just like it just drags on for too long, kind of like Pixelmon the original. Except this one finishes up, so I give it a C tier. Alright, next up I think is 100 Ways to Die. I actually haven't. I have watched this, but it was a long time ago. And from what I remember, it was pretty good. It had some very nice concepts, like it was like Family Feud, except it was much darker than Family Feud. Ambrew was a great addition to the series. Craner and SSundee had some fun with all the events. But yeah, 100 Ways to Die. I'll put it at C tier. It might grow on me, kind of like Crash Landing, just because I don't remember much of it. I just remember it being good. Alright, next up I think is Skyrealms. That's the first F tier in the entire list. It's not really a mod pack or anything like that, but it's just bad. It's just bland. It was the only good episode I actually enjoyed was maybe episode 15, like the final episode of that series with the fidget spinners where it was eaten and the nether exploration. That was the only episode I like genuinely enjoyed. Everything else, like, the starting was like, ooh, interesting concept, Skyblock, but it's SSundee server. And then it just ended up being a generic Skyblock series. And then, like, the streams were so annoying. Some of these streams were just bad. I couldn't. So yeah, F tier. No, then we have What is Minecraft, which I'll put at D tier. It's actually worse than Pixelmon, I think. Again, the streams were just absurdly long. Some of the episodes just felt like duds, and then the ending was so half-made. It was just like, oh, they got to the top. That's nice. The series is over. Yay. And that's it. And then they hype you up with Crunny 2. In fact, I might put it F tier. I'll put it at D tier. Fine. I did enjoy some stuff. Like the concept itself was pretty cool, but I've seen it done before, but in much better light. So at the end, they teased us. They teased us. They teased us with Crundy 2, and then they didn't give us Crundy 2. That being said, I think it was fine that they didn't give us Crundy 2. Craft in itself is a masterpiece that didn't need a sequel. But yeah, Craft 2, that could have been a thing, but it wasn't. That's a shame. So yeah, I think it's a D tier series in general. Might yeah, I'll put it F tier. Stardew Valley. I think Stardew Valley is a B tier. The thing with Stardew Valley is that it started off really strong. Like, it could have easily been S or A tier if it continued on its streak that it had for like 6 episodes. Because it felt like they had a connection with the NPCs, and, like, it had some drama in it, it had some nice feelings. It was really good for 6 episodes, 6 or 7 episodes. And after like SSundee started mining and stuff like that, they were just all about, getting money and all of that stuff, which I don't mind, but then the ending happened because they didn't continue on with what they did for 7 episodes. Yeah, people wanted Stardew Valley to continue. I don't know why they ended it at episode 13, but guess it's just for income, and I respect that. Whatever, that's what he's doing nowadays. So yeah, I'll put it at B tier. Um, yeah, I'm still contemplating about what is Minecraft. Want to put it at D or F? Put it F, whatever. It has some good quality concepts, just like really ruined by, like, it's just aged poorly. All right, next up we have SSundee's Hardcore series, which I'll put at C tier. This is around the period when PewDiePie started playing Minecraft and a bunch of other YouTubers, and then Minecraft blew up again. So SSundee decided to make his own hardcore series, or just series in general, and it was actually pretty good. It had some very cool concepts and a lot of like vanilla stuff that I learned from it. So yeah, I gotta give it respects for that. That being said, though, it is kind of like Hermitcraft. I'd much rather watch Hermitcraft than SSundee's Hardcore series. Next up, we have Crazycraft 3. Yeah, we'll put it at D tier. It has some really cool economic concepts and a lot of like cool concepts in general, but they were never executed well. Because this is the era when SSundee started making videos so short they finish in the blip of a second. Like, if I put this at 2 times speed, I could finish the entire series in 2 hours max. It's like 25 episodes. And if you put it at 2 times speed, it's like you can binge the whole thing. You'd still get the same experience because it's so fast anyway. It just cuts out all the important stuff, like, gathering and all that. It's just, I don't know, man. The economic stuff was cool. Some of the homages to like Moon Treasure, like that one episode when they were in court, and then the book portal stuff with sigils. That was a good episode. I enjoyed that episode. But other than that, yeah, it was just fine. I didn't really think it was great. Next up, we have Sky Factory 4, or yeah, this is Sky Factory 5, I guess. F tier. I think this is one of SSundee's worst series. This has some of the most poorly aged stuff in it, kind of like in What is Minecraft. Yeah, this series had him talking about, how he's not playing with Craner, he's got Jerome in. You want to know what made the first 4 Sky Factories good? The chemistry. The chemistry really kept it all together, you know? Like having two people talking to each other all the time just helped make the series more entertaining. And by removing that essence, it just removes a lot of the enjoyment that the series has. So yeah, I'm putting it F tier. You know, you said you could play with Jerome, you were with Jerome, then maybe you should play with Jerome. I don't know, man. Just the thought. The final series in this list, Insane Craft. This is pretty bad too. Yeah, this series had some of the weakest stuff in it, and it's still airing. It's still going. The series started off like with an interesting concept. You know, it's just like a follow-up to Crazycraft, and then it just became something else. It just became SSundee saying, "My power grows." It's kind of cringe. I mean, again, like the past like 3 series that he's made have all been like really obnoxiously loud. Sometimes even like sound effects got in the way, the editing got in the way. Just the authenticity was just out of the water. Especially with things like Crazycraft, the authenticity was just gone. It was dead. Goodbye. So yeah, I just can't really support this series, mainly because it just gets boring. There were some good points in Insane Craft, like the arc where he lost all his Infinity Stones and had to collect them all of them back. No, he doesn't even need to use them. Like, and the absurd power system. They're so overpowered that's not even interesting anymore. They ended the interest by the time it was episode 8. And this has like what, 32 episodes already? Yeah, this is not gonna age well. So yeah, I think this is by far one of SSundee's worst series. And yeah, there's not much else I can say. So yeah, this is my tier list. Let me add, these 4 here are mini series right here. Stoned, I'll put at D tier. It's just a short little map thing. It's nice. It's cool. Not very memorable though. H1Z1 had some cool concepts. Like I could imagine this being a full series and everybody would watch it. This would be really sick. It's like the predecessor to Headhunters, but on a server. So that was really sick. Aftermath, I would put at either C or B. I think I'll put at B. Yeah. This series had very cool stuff in it, for sure. I think because of Craner actually asking SSundee, hey, you know what, let's do some space stuff. They made some space stuff, and the space stuff was actually pretty good. If they had a full series of this could be higher. So yeah, and then Haunted Orphanage, since it was my first series, I gotta put it A tier. And also it's just like the vibe, the moody, eerie, medieval almost vibe that it has, kind of like the Promised Neverland, is really sick. So yeah, that is my tier list right here. If there are any series I'm missing, which I know I'm missing like Prison and Lucky Blocks and all that stuff, but I don't feel like adding all those, and I'm not planning to watch 200 episodes of that. Yeah, this is my tier list. If you agree or disagree or respect my opinion, I respect your opinion too, because we all have differing opinions, and I respect that. So yeah, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.